but I figured out one rule in life more than anyone to create balance. And whatever I have, I can't keep it unless I give it away. And that's my short story.
Well, you know, anybody that doesn't know Russell Hill the way I've grown to know him is one of the most uplifting people. So the lesson here is very clear. Man, you look in the mirror and you look at the bottom and you find a way to pull yourself up. And anybody that knows this guy, if he didn't tell you that story, you'd never guess it because he's so uplifting himself. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing it, my buddy.
Thank you.
Mike Larkin, another very positive, upbeat guy. Mike, tell us worst fail you've ever seen or you've ever done.
You know, I got to follow Russell after that. That was epic, Russell. Gee.
Thank you.
Wow.
I don't normally do that, but I share. I'm starting to share it more and more and more. People I'm really close to know that about me, or some piece of it anyway. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Larry.
Well, no, it's Russell. It's so beautiful. It's the perfect counterbalance to my program, because here's a guy that's pulled himself out, and as Mike will tell you, I usually drive people to drink or drug by being so annoying.
Now I can see that, Larry.
Well, thank you. Look at this. He went from Billy Graham to being an attack dog. We quiet guys always get steamrolled. Go ahead, Michael.
Back in 1982, that seems to be the year we're going back to.
Yeah.
I had joined a Irish football club. And if you've ever seen Irish football, it's a combination of soccer, it's a combination of basketball, it's a combination of like rugby, and it's 15 on 15. And I played the goalie because, you know, I couldn't tell when they said, oh, full forward. What? Just put me in the goal. But we went to Ireland one year because we were New England champions, and I discovered a language barrier. So going back, my mom's from Ireland, and my buddies used to come up to me and be, man, your mom's off the boat. What are you talking about? I don't hear it at all. When I went to Ireland, after the game, we had one side and the other side, and we'd go to a dance or whatever the town had prepared for us. And I remember one game where me and my buddy were chasing after two local girls, and the girls said to me and Chris, hey, we're going to go down to the corner store and get us some fags. Well, we bite right back. And I'm like...
so we're clear, fags is British and Irish for cigarettes.
Right.
I'm already in trouble with the S and everybody else. I don't need Mike Larkin dragging me down. Go ahead.
But my friend Chris and I are looking at each other going, we might be here when you get back. We're going to go into the pub. So that was one thing. The other thing was we used to go and drive into the cities with two American flags. We were looking like we're invading. And the kids on the walls as we passed by were doing this. And I see it on social media all the time. I'm like, this, and we would go, hey, yeah, peace, peace. No, this means another thing. And I'm not going to tell you on the show.
I didn't know that.
Read between the lines. That's what it means in Irish.
Oh.
It's like, no. They're not saying peace, guys. So, you know, I mean, we don't understand each other like we speak the same language, but we're speaking a different language. And that can get confusing and bring up some kind of mistakes. One final story, we used to invite kids that went to college and played basketball because the girls in Ireland could play. They were players. But you'd never seen a 7-foot Irishman before. That doesn't happen. So the girl that we had over, Jennifer Gray, she was at CVS buying supplies. And for for some reason, I don't know, but I was there with her, and the school supplies were behind the register, and she's talking to the cashier, and she goes, yeah, I need a packet of pens, and I need a packet of pencils, the ones with the rubbers. Two ladies back, oh my God, these young people these days. Rubbers, she meant erasers.
Right.
But the language barrier. I'm like, oh, shit, Jen. Oh my God.
So we're going to chalk Mike Larkin's fail up to epic lack of communication. We can identify that. Mr. Troy Shear, a gentleman not known for his failures, but I bet she's had one or two or seen one or two.
I've had plenty. I think my biggest one though was early on in my career of not learning or knowing I think one of my weaknesses probably is always seeing the best in everybody. My wife, not so much. She's as the one who is the street smart person who can just get that vibe of somebody who should not be, in this inner circle, so to speak. And I didn't listen to her, and it ended up costing me, us, because at the time we were both in business together. So when we first started out, and trying to put some faith into somebody I thought was going to be a decent, inner circle person to work with, and I should have listened to her.
Like an epic save, not an epic fail.
Yeah.
You took a situation that, the beauty of the whole purpose of this conversation is to show just when you think you're at the end of your tether and there's no shot, sometimes that's the point that brings us to our absolute best, to our epiphany.
Amen.
Because it forces us to look in the mirror. Russell said something beautiful earlier before you came in, Jen. Russell is the most stable, likable guy you ever meet. When he was young, he was beset by demons and addiction. And one day he looked in the mirror and he said, I don't want to die, I want to live, and I'm getting rid of this nonsense. But he had to look in the mirror. And the one thing he did that made sense is he didn't blame the whole world. He looked in the mirror. Can you imagine how many problems we'd solve if people would just look in the mirror instead of trying to cast blame and take a little bit of responsibility and accountability?
Agreed. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jen, that's what I call you are a pragmatic problem solver.
Sometimes.
Wendy's got her hand up.
Yeah, I just want to say that the phrase "we get by with a little help from our friends" comes to mind, because I think and Jen, that story is perfect, as you well know, because I think we are plagued by disappointment in many cases because we let impulse or spontaneity or things that are not within our control upset our mindset. And I think life is all about having the right mindset and the right perspective.
Indeed.
And especially post-COVID, when we're now allowed to be humans first and professionals second, I think it's most important for like-minded and like-hearted people to collaborate and share their blessings and lessons. And that's how we grow stronger together. And I think this room and all these testimonials are good proof of that. And that's all.